Hello and welcome again to Charles Kelly Money Tips. Hope you're having a great day. Today I've been in London and attended a seminar about sponsorship and sports and the money that's pouring into sports. And it kind of confirmed to me that there is definitely a lot more money in the world chasing good deals and chasing investments than there are investments. If you've got the right investment deal, if you've got a deal that you can help other people make money, then I don't think you should sort of sit on it. You should go out and look for that money, because there's definitely a lot of money out there chasing good deals. So at a simple level, if you wanted to buy a property, for instance, and you felt that you could convert that property into flats or into another usage that could enhance the value, or you could refurbish it and do it up. But you might be saying to yourself, well, I can't do that deal because I haven't got the money myself, or I need the cash. Well, there's a lot of ways of raising the cash, and there's a lot of money out there. It could be through joint venture partnerships, it could be through bridging, it could be basically using other people's money. And what I saw today was an example of how big businesses use other people's money in a massive way. Sports sponsorship, by the way, is worth over $65 billion. And what do they get for that sponsorship? They get to, the teams who use their name and promote their name, but they still have to be able to use that space. A sponsorship is like a space, an ad, and you still have to be able to fulfill and use that ad in the best way possible. And some companies do that better than others. But for the average small business, they're not going to get into sponsorship. They need more direct return on their advertising. But it just illustrated to me how much money there was floating around. And one of the speakers at the seminar is a bank. I think they're called 23, and they fund sports ventures. They fund recording and artists and entertainment business. They're really into sport and entertainment. They finance the Justin Bieber tour, for instance. They finance teams that want to buy expensive players. Even Barcelona, when they want to buy a player, they were able to put together the finance of, I think it was 150 million for a player. They put that money together over a weekend, and they're able to draw on their investors and say, right, let's do this, let's get this money out there. So just in a couple of days, they raised 150 million. And you'd be surprised that teams would borrow money to buy players, but it's all about cash flow, isn't it? It's Barcelona are building a new stadium, Spurs have just built a new stadium. So there's money out there, and you can borrow money for even intangible things like a football player. And so whatever the deals you have out there, there is money there for you if you know where to look for it. And particularly with property, if you have property deals out there and you're looking for a joint venture partner, contact me, and I'll put you in touch with somebody, or I may even invest in it. But there certainly, I've often passed on deals myself and think, well, I can't do that because I haven't got the cash. Without forgetting really that there's people out there with cash to invest. Now, why would they give you the money to invest? Well, perhaps you can give them the time that they don't have. They might have the money, but not the time. Maybe they haven't got the time and energy anymore to run around looking for deals, looking for properties, investing, managing properties, managing building sites, managing the refurbishments and this sort of thing. So just because you haven't got any money, you might have something else to offer the investor. You might have the time, you might have the energy to go around and source deals, so that you can say to an investor, look, I've got this deal here, let's go and do it together. And there are ways of putting these things together. And if you want to really get into it, then I suggest you go on the No Money Down course, where they'll teach you. There's a free taster course you can go on. I have tickets for it, and you can learn about that. If you don't want to do that, then if you have a deal, just contact me and we'll see what we can do. But I'm just illustrating that there's a lot of money out there for all sorts of things and all sorts of deals, not just property. Now, in the news today, we learned that the UK production is slowing down. There's been more bad news about Brexit, that Europe are planning to reject the deal that they've been offered, and it looks like either we don't leave on the 31st of October, or we leave without a deal, which everyone is worried about for various reasons. Now, but getting back to property, yesterday I talked about the student market. A lot of investors were scared off by these big developers coming in and building new luxury student accommodation. Well, some of these companies have fallen into problems. They've either not finished projects or they're running out of money. One or two have gone bust. So there's still a market out there for student accommodation. And don't forget, this luxury student accommodation is very expensive. So not everyone can afford it. And I don't think it's designed really to keep the student in there for more than just the first year in university. So there is still a student market. It is a bit specialised. I don't invest in that myself, but there's certainly a good yield on student lettings, but it is quite specialised. And the word of the day today is securitisation. Securitisation is I'll read out the actual. It's the process of turning assets into securities. An asset that takes longer to convert into cash will likely sell for a lower price than the market value is, and it's called an illiquid asset. And an example, a money market account is an account that's in a bank, but an illiquid asset could be royalties from a song. David Bowie famously securitized his royalties from his songs and got a big lump sum for it. I think he got 50 million or something from an investment bank. Lots of things are securitized. Bank mortgages are generally packaged up and sold on. It's called securitization, where they sell on the package of mortgages so that the lender can get that money back in and then lend out again. So you might be paying your mortgage to the Nationwide or Santander, but that mortgage could have been sold on to a bank, and you won't notice any different. You'll still be paying the mortgage in the same way, but your mortgage debt has been sold on as a securitized investment, if you like, because they can get a return on that debt. Obviously, in 2008, we ran into problems because they were selling on mortgages from subprime loans, which were not the same as a normal mortgage, where you'd expect most people would pay their mortgage. Subprime loans were a higher risk mortgage, and they were being sold on as grade A securities, which was wrong. I don't think anybody went to jail for it, but billions and billions of dollars were lost because of that. And we're still kind of recovering from that 2008 crash. And still today, you've got the Federal Reserve announcing that they have to pump more money into the economy to stop things slowing down. Billions and trillions of dollars have been printed to keep the economy going. And so it's, I don't think we've completely come out of the woodwork there. And, I still think that there could be problems coming our way in the stock market in the next year or so. So anyway, that's the main message today, though, is that there is lots of money out there. So if you've got businesses you want to start, you've got an idea, you've got properties you think could be a good investment, then don't keep it to yourself. Go and get that money from there is money out there, definitely. And certainly with property, get in touch with me if you've got good property deals to put forward. I can find investors for you. And if you want to go on a course to learn how to buy property with no money down, or very little of your own money, or sometimes none of your own money, using various strategies, including joint venturing, but many other strategies such as options and so on, then contact me and we'll get you on a course so that you can learn how to become an investor without using your own money. Don't be limited by thinking, well, I haven't got the money. And I talk about this in my book, Yes, Money Can Buy You Happiness, that we shouldn't be limited by the fact that it's we haven't got our own money. Many businesses and large businesses are funded through stock market flotation, through venture capital, through angel funding, all using other people's money. You could never, Facebook would not be around if it was just down to Mark Zuckerberg and his friends and his dad putting in the money to get it going. It would never have got off the ground. Same as Google and Apple and Microsoft. All these businesses needed investors. They needed angel investors. They needed venture capitalists, and they needed eventually to float on the stock market to raise the funds they need. So, people in that level think in a different way. They don't think, well, I haven't got the money to do this. They find the money and get it done. And don't try and just think, well, I've only got me, I can only do it myself. So that's the lessons for today. There's plenty of money out there. Go get it, or, talk to people and learn how to go and get that money. Don't keep these good ideas to yourself. So thanks for listening. This is Charles Kelly, bringing you money tips to help you save, earn, invest, accumulate, and enjoy more money. Thanks for listening. And thanks for everyone who tuned in on Facebook Live. And you can catch my podcasts at www.moneytipsdaily.com. Thanks very much.